Peace. I've just been finishing reading this book here, Sophie's World. What a book this is. I mean, if you're acquainted to philosophy, then from a point of view regarding the teachings of philosophy, then this book won't be such a big shock for you. But for someone like me, I'm interested in philosophy and the different philosophers and their different philosophies regarding life, the meanings of life and different social systems and stuff like that from Western philosophy. It's always intrigued me. So for someone like me, a total beginner in philosophy, this book is amazing. But like I say, if you're already acquainted with it, it's not like a big deal for you really. But anyway, this book here, right, I think it's primarily targeted at children. But it's a great read for adults as well. It's absolutely fantastic. It revolves around this. Matter of fact, let me go to the back page. Let me read it for you. When 14-year-old Sophie encounters a mysterious mentor who introduces her to philosophy, mystery is deep in her own life. Why does she keep getting postcards addressed to another girl? Who is the other girl? And who, for that matter, is Sophie herself? To solve the riddle, she uses her new knowledge of philosophy, but the truth is far stranger than she could imagine. Or she could have imagined, should I say. An addictive blend of mystery, philosophy and fantasy. And it goes on. Yeah, so that's the general outline of it. But in the book now, it's done it in such a way where Sophie is picked a good name there as well, Sophie. As you probably know, philosophy means the love of wisdom. Philosophia, I think it's in Greek. Love of wisdom, or someone who loves wisdom. So Sophie is an appropriate name. He knows what he's doing. This author's an absolute genius. He really is. But anyway, right, I thought to myself, I've already told you it's targeted at children, so let me explain why I'm reading a children's book. Right. So I was online, YouTube, listening to that modern day philosopher. What's his name? Jordan Peterson, I think his name is. Yeah, pretty sure his name's Jordan Peterson. I like the way he talks. He's very clear in his understanding of things. So he was talking about, I think him and this other bloke was in a podcast talking about the favourite books on philosophy. And I've watched other podcasts as well. They're just trying to get a feel of what were the best books to get on the subject of philosophy, so I could make a start of studying the subject. And out of all of the videos that I watched, one book kept on coming up, The Brothers Karamazov, I think it's called. So I bought that book, but that book kept on coming up as number one. The best novel of all time and this, that and the other. And I thought, okay, let me get that book so I can read it and see what all the fuss is all about. So I started to read that. And don't get me wrong, the author of that book, his writing style, it's, even though it was boring the hell out of me, I haven't even gone a quarter of the way through. It's boring the hell out of me at the minute. But the writing style is so fluid and easy going that you just find yourself reading and reading and reading and reading, even though it's boring. The content's boring as hell. So the author is absolutely brilliant. Dostoevsky or something, I think, or I can't bloody pronounce it. It's Russian. But anyway, brilliant author. So I stopped reading it because when I was watching Jordan Peterson, sorry, it wasn't Jordan Peterson that mentioned this book. It was another geezer, but I forgot his name. But in the other podcast, everyone was talking about this Brothers Karamazov. But in this other podcast, they mentioned the Sophie's World, which was like their number one, and the Brothers Karamazov was number two. So I thought, oh, okay, what's all this book about? So they gave the general outline of the book, and what lured me to the book was the stories within a story, which took your imagination out there. And I thought, that sounds a really interesting little read, that does. And I kept on banging on about it, how brilliant it was, this, that, and the other. So I thought, you know what, let me get it. Let me read it. So I did. And I've got to say, this little book here is amazing. The author, Joe Stein Gallardo, I think he's from Oslo. He's a genius. This guy's a genius, man. But yeah, the book. So within the story, you've got this mentor for this Sophie character, and he keeps on sending her little lessons on philosophy every few days. And you basically, within this novel, not only are you getting a little fantastical story, you're actually getting like lectured at the same time on philosophy. It's brilliant. It gives you all of the background of Western philosophy from start up to near enough the present day. It lays it all out, all the different genres of the different philosophers. Talks to you about what their thoughts were on life, and their contemporaries who disagreed with them, and all of that lot. And he goes through all the different timelines as well. And he breaks it all down, and he summarises the different philosophies. It's absolutely. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was absolutely amazing little book, and the story itself, from start to finish, even though you're getting this lecture, it's making you think, because it's got you philosophizing about life from the discussions that the mentor has with his student Sophie throughout the book, that has you thinking. And at one point, I had to put the book down and look around the room, because it had me in such a deep state of thought at the time that I was reading it. Oh yeah, the book's brilliant, man. It's absolutely brilliant. Thoroughly recommended. Give this to your kids. Seriously, read it to your kids, and you'll have a ball with it yourself, and you'll learn yourself. Trust me. This is a wicked book. So now I'm going to go back to the Brothers Karamazov, and I'll at least know what the hell is cracking off in that book now, since I've gone through this. So let's have a little look at the contents here. So like, he goes into the natural philosophers, or like your early Greek philosophers. Little section on Democritus, Socrates. Talks about Athens. That was an interesting point as well, which I didn't know. When he was talking about Athens, I'm pretty sure he was talking about the Acropolis, how it's supposedly that the columns supposedly are inverted, and it's supposed to be going towards a pyramid, but obviously it's got the roof on. So all of that has symbolical significance into it. So it gives you a little like historical facts as well within the book. It's a brilliant book. Plato, Aristotle, so some of the epochs, Hellenism, goes into the Middle Ages, like Thomas Aquinas, them type of guys, Albertus Magus, then into the Renaissance and the philosophers from that period, the Baroque period. See, some of these periods I didn't even like have names for, because I thought you went into the Renaissance and then up until modern times, but the Baroque period, I thought the Baroque period was like late Renaissance. So I'm getting taught as I'm going along with this like brilliant little story. Descartes, all these guys like Descartes and Spinoza, because some of these guys are linked to Freemasonry as well, and Enlightenment, speculative Freemasonry, which I'm very much interested in as well. So, you know, all of these like links start to get linked up within this book as well. If you're anyone out there who is a Freemason, you'll like this book. Trust me, you'll really enjoy this book, man. Locke, Hume, Berkeley, the Enlightenment, Kant, Romanticism. They have some brilliant philosophers. There's one, I've bought a couple of his books. I'm reading one of his novels at the minute as well. Goes by the name of Novelist. Very, very interesting dude, man. Novelist his name is. But anyway, Hegel, Kierkegaard. Hope I'm pronouncing his names right. Marx, Darwin, Freud. So it goes in. What I did take note of is Pythagoras is missing, funnily enough, throughout this whole book. Because I was waiting for Pythagoras to come up, but no Pythagoras, which I found quite strange. But anyway, barring Pythagoras, the book, man, absolutely brilliant. I want to give the game away for this book, for the story within the story, but nah, I can't, man, because it's a book you need to read. It's fantastic. So obviously I've bought like a good few of his other titles because I was flicking through some of them and they're more or less in the same vein as this one. They just take you in. So now I'm a big fan of novels because it's good to get away sometimes from like normal everyday history and all of this religion books and fact. It's good to get away with fiction, but it's even better when you have fact mixed up with fiction. It makes it more digestible. The fact makes fact more digestible in a fictional setting. So yeah, I'm gonna get more fictional books by intelligent authors. Lovely little story. It proper takes you away, man. It's brilliant. I can't big it up enough. I really can't. I know we're just into the new year, but this is my book of the year. Absolutely fantastic book. And like I say, for kids as well. But you'll be grabbing this off your kid because you'll be wanting to read instead of your kid. Brilliant book. So it's got 400 and odd pages. So it will take you a good week or a couple of weeks if you're taking it nice and steady. The number's still got a sticker on. Well, you don't need the number anyway. You can get this off Amazon for a few quid. Sophie's World. Justine Garda. Go and buy it, man. Seriously, it will change your point of view. From the get-go. From the get-go, it will change your point of view of the world around you. Trust me. Fantastic book. I'm out. Peace.